Okay, so question number 2 says, which question does paragraph 6 answer? So you're going to highlight your keywords. I love these because they're very simple once you really think about them. Highlight question, paragraph 6, answer. And basically the strategy is we are going to go to paragraph 6 and we're going to highlight the answer to the question that we choose. Okay? So if you choose A, better be able to tell me by highlighting how often Uncle Ray flies in the glider. Well, he flies every day, he flies every hour. Okay? So first we need to go to paragraph 6. That is the only place we can look for this answer. So we scroll until we find it. Here's paragraph 6. I am going to look on the next page just to make sure that it doesn't continue, because that would be a mean way for them to trick you. It is only on this page. So this is where we have to highlight an answer to one of our questions. So let's read the questions first. A, how often does Uncle Ray fly in the glider? So we need to be looking for how often. Once a week, once a month, twice a week, every 5 minutes. B, did Ella and Uncle Ray catch an updraft? Okay, so we need to be looking for yes or no somewhere in there that they caught an updraft. C, do birds use updrafts to fly? We need to be looking for the answer to that. D, why is it quiet in the glider? And you have to be very careful with these to make sure you are specifically answering that question. All right, number 6. Flying in an aircraft that doesn't have an engine is very peaceful, her uncle replied. I think we already have our answer. Uh-oh, sometimes I catch updrafts that allow me to stay up here for a long time. Well, I see a couple that might work, so let's take a look at them again. A, how often does Uncle Ray fly in the glider? Well, it doesn't tell us how often he does that, so we can get rid of A. B, did Ella and Uncle Ray catch an updraft? Well, as see here, it says sometimes I catch updrafts that allow me to stay up here for a long time. So I might dash that one, come back to it. Do birds use updrafts to fly? Well, I don't see anything about birds in there, so we can get rid of C. D, why is it quiet in the glider? Well, I see up here, flying in an aircraft that doesn't have an engine is very peaceful. So I'm thinking that's our answer, because why is it quiet in a glider? It is quiet because it's an aircraft that does not have an engine. Engines make noise. I would highlight that sentence. Oops. Okay, you could even just highlight that doesn't have an engine, because that's why it's quiet. It does not have an engine. Let's look back at B again just to make sure before we choose it. Did Ella and Uncle Ray catch an updraft? Well, it says her uncle replied, sometimes I catch updrafts that allow me to stay up here for a long time. That tells us that it happens sometimes, but it doesn't tell us whether or not it happened on this day when Ella is with him. So B is incorrect. That is how they were trying to trick you. The correct answer is D. Why is it quiet in a glider? It's quiet because it doesn't have an engine. All right, so in your corrections, that was number 2. STEM is which question does paragraph, and it could say whatever, this time it's 6, answer. You need to put that in. The strategy or tip is you actually have to highlight the answer to the question. Okay, so you need to look back at your score sheet and figure out what you chose and why and what was wrong with it. Most of you probably chose B because you saw the word updraft. It's wrong because it doesn't tell us whether or not Ella and Uncle Ray caught an updraft. It just says Uncle Ray sometimes catches an updraft. Correct answer is D. because it is, oops, it is quiet. Ooh, wow. And a glider because it has no engine. Okay. So all of that information should be filled in on your corrections sheet.